Alright, to get started, I'm just going to do a from MIDI A to MIDI A. So with this, we should just be able to hear the first note that's being played on channel 1. However, what I can do is with the dispatcher, I can actually change what channel I want it to be played on. So basically, if I turn all these off, we don't hear anything. But if I turn on channel 1, it will essentially route the MIDI note from channel 1 to so it'll transfer a MIDI note to channel 1. But if I put channel 2, it'll play the voice that's on channel 2, and channel 3, and then channel 4. So with this, I'll be able to create a pretty cool generative piece. Why don't, for now, just keep it on channel 1. The next thing I'm going to do is just add a delay to it. It's not a proper delay, it's actually like a MIDI delay. So you can hear that the note plays multiple times after it's hit once. But now, instead of to MIDI A, I'm going to change it to a virtual MIDI A. So basically, So basically I'm going from MIDI A input, I'm dispatching it to channel 1, adding a delay on it, and I'm going to a virtual A. So then from here, what I'll do is I'll add a virtual A, and I'll output to MIDI A. Now, the reason why I'm doing this is because with this pipeline I can add and change different things, but I also can dispatch to different channels. This is basically going to be like my main just dispatcher node, and this will be my main like sort of effects node. So from this I can add a randomizer. So what I'll do is I'll change it to pitch semitones to +12. So now I get random notes within 12 semitones that are positive. Again, I could always change this to a different channel. Well, for now, let's keep it to channel 2. Now, the randomizer is pretty cool, but what would be even cooler if I can keep this in a sort of scale. So what I'll do is I'll put a scale remapper, and I'll keep it in a major scale. So this does sound a bit more pleasant. And why don't I also add some chants so it doesn't always hit those notes every time. Bring the chants to maybe 75%. Sounding pretty cool. But what also would sound cool is if I like repeat this multiple times for different voices. So now with my dispatcher, what I can do is I can duplicate this, duplicate whole pipeline, and then change my dispatcher, channel 2. But I also need to change my virtual as well. I mean, I don't have to, but if I want a different pipeline, I should. So I'm going to change this to virtual B. So now it's going to virtual B, which is essentially going nowhere. But what I can do is I can duplicate this whole pipeline, change from A into virtual B, and make sure my dispatcher is different than my first one here. But now I can manipulate it, so I can change the delay time of one and not the other. Maybe it's change the repetitions to 8. So it's already getting pretty interesting, and this is just 2 voices that are playing, right? And then maybe for the random, I can shift 1 into -12. Maybe keep this at 0, so then maybe channel B will play more bass notes. Sounding pretty cool. Another thing I can do as well is maybe I can add, maybe the notes hold on a bit longer, so Why don't I change this delay back down to repetitions to 4, and there's a length node. So with this node here, I can change the length of the note. Maybe change it to like 1 bar. Chance 75% is still pretty good. And why don't I bring this to 12. Maybe I should change the dispatcher. Why don't we hear some of the other voices? Change the channel 3. Basically, I'm just messing around with the first delay here. Maybe bring the feedback back to 90. Mess around with the channels here. I just keep fiddling with it until I find something that's pretty interesting. I like that this is in a major scale, but let's say we change it to something else. I like how easy it is to shift all this stuff. Blues, hexatonic, let's try that. It's already sounding pretty cool. Why don't we try adding all the voices in? But when I do this, I also should consider bringing down the chance for them as well. So I duplicate the whole pipeline. I'll do virtual C. Duplicate this pipeline, and then you know what? Maybe I'll duplicate this pipeline instead. So change this to virtual C, and then make sure this dispatcher is going to a different channel. So do channel 3, for example. Change the delay time. Good. Tempo sync it. Change the repetitions to 8. Let's bring down the chance of these down. Maybe something 25%. Make it a bit more spacey. Maybe let's do half a bar for the length. It's funny because I recently got this and I don't really know what I'm doing, but I just keep fiddling with it until I think it sounds pretty cool. Why don't we do dispatcher channel 4, let's do virtual D. Let's duplicate this whole pipeline, virtual D as well. And yeah. So now we're getting some pretty interesting stuff here too. Maybe I'll take away the length change. Maybe change the semitones. Some of these. Change the chance to 50%. chance. Now we'll hit 50% of the time. When we change the scale to minor, why don't we change it all to a minor scale? I always can turn some of the dispatchers off, so I'll only play some voices instead of all of them. Yeah, so I know this video was a little quick, but I just want to show you how easy it was to make one note into something bigger, better, or badass. Yeah, it's a really fun way to make some generative music. I will change this. Why don't I make this into more of our bass notes? Change the length potentially. A chance. 75%. It's kind of crazy what you could do with just one note. Yeah, you can always mix and match the channels and see what results you get. so it's a little video on using the Midihub to make the Digitone plate. So I have future ideas to do other stuff with this this setup using the Midihub integrated into my studio. But yeah, thanks for watching and peace out.